Entrez, c'est ouvert. Bonjour, vous devez... Oh, sorry. English, right. You must be here for your face reconstruction appointment, yes? Perfect. Please, take a seat. It will be more comfortable than standing up. Here. Good. So, my name is Alice, and I work with Dr. Ambroise Bernard. You're a surgeon? Yes, exactly. I'm in charge of the prosthetics. I'm sure Dr. Ambroise explained your condition to you and what we'll be doing today. Good. Do you have any questions before we begin? Absolutely. I'll walk you through our appointment. I will start by removing your bandages. You've kept them long enough, and from what the nurse wrote on your dossier, your face seems healed enough for me to work on it. To do so, I need to assess how injured it is. I'll draw a few sketches and Sorry? Well, yes, I need a reference in order to craft your prosthetics. You won't be sitting here during the whole process. It takes a little bit of time, I'm afraid. How long? It depends on how severe the damages are. Usually, you can create the first version in 2 to 3 days. It needs a bit of back and forth and trying out to see if everything fits perfectly, and most importantly, how you feel with it. Is it comfortable enough? Is it functional? And do you like it? This is why I need to make a few sketches to know what I'm working with. We usually take pictures to do that, but unfortunately we do not have a camera here. Not enough funding. It would have been really useful though, and a real time saver. So, sketches it is, and also I'll need to make a mold of your face. That way I'll work on it, and not directly on you. Oh no, do not worry, it doesn't hurt at all. None of the process does, actually. The mold part is just unpleasant, I guess. I will apply plaster on your face, which is a bit cold and wet. It will have to sit for a few minutes to harden, and then I'll take it off. It might pinch a little, especially if it catches a few hairs, but it has nothing to do with the pain you must have felt during your surgeries. I assure you. Trust me. Should we begin? No. I will not show you your face today. I'm sorry, it's against the hospital's protocol. Yes, this is why all the mirrors are covered, indeed. I do not think I need to sugarcoat things for you. I'm sure you've seen some of your brothers in arms, those whose faces are disfigured, yes. In French, we call them les gueules cassées. A horrible term if you ask me. It means broken faces. It doesn't only apply to those who suffer from physical injuries, but Also the ones whose minds were lost on the battlefield. Those who are scared at the sight of an officer's hut. Those who crumble when they hear a loud bang. Those who scream when shown a blade. Those who the war changed forever. Soldiers like you used to be able to see their face almost immediately after the surgery. And this was a very, very bad mistake. Why? I'm sure you can very well imagine why. Horror, dread, sadness, shock. All these negative emotions felt in a few seconds. Anger usually ensues. Violence, threats, harm. There's no place for acceptance in this situation. This is why we established a strict protocol to help you accept your new face better, to grieve the old one and hopefully live a normal life after all you've been through. Do you have other questions? Good. If you do not hesitate to ask. Now, I will take your bandages off. It won't hurt, I promise. It might tickle a little. If you feel discomfort, if you are scared, unsure, please let me know and I will stop. Alright? Perfect. I'll start now. How do you feel? Good. The nurse did a very good job. Your face is nicely wrapped up. The music? Oh yes, I found the gramophone in one of the hospital's rooms. Helps me relax and makes the place a bit nicer, don't you think? The records. People donate them to us. Money is scarce, but they still want to help any way they can, which is really nice. Alright, almost there. Air. Ah yes, you can feel fresh air on your skin. It must feel really nice after so long, doesn't it? And all done. Now, I need to touch your face to see what I'll be working with. This might be upsetting, so I'll let you decide if you want me to do it or not. Well, for the molding part, my fingers won't enter in direct contact with your skin. The plaster will, not me. So, may I? Perfect, thank you. Again, if you feel comfortable at any moment, please let me know and I will stop immediately. Alright? Good. Let's begin then. Oh no. Crafting prosthetics isn't my job. I mean, it is now, but it's not what I destined myself for. But with the war, everything changed. People's plans were shattered as well as their lives, civilians and soldiers alike. What was I doing before? Well, I was attending a nursing school, actually. As if somewhere deep down, I knew these skills would be needed in the near future. As a matter of fact, no, this was not my career of choice. I wanted to become an artist, a sculptor, to be more precise. I worked as an assistant back in Paris for a renowned sculpting master. It lasted a few years, enough for me to learn the ropes of the art and try a little bit of it myself, but my plans changed against my will and not because of the conflict. That was before all this horror happened. Why? Well, my assistant job didn't pay me enough, or anything for that matter, so at some point, and because no one took me seriously, I mean, can you imagine a woman sculptor? Well, no one could, it seems, and so I was left with little choice but to enroll in a nursing school, all expenses paid by the government. Why choose nursing? I guess it comes with sculpting. I've always been fascinated by anatomy, how the body works, how it looks. And so I thought that working in the medical field would be, in a way, more interesting and appealing to me than any other jobs. Then the war started and I was sent to train stations and field hospitals to heal the wounded and tend to the fallen. One doctor I worked with discovered my love for the arts and my sculpting skills, and so he sent me here, where I would be more useful. Indeed, I apply all my knowledge to craft prosthetics. It is a very interesting job and very rewarding at that. Seeing you, soldiers, slightly appeased by my creations, seeing a smile on faces or a spark of hope in one's eyes, it soothes the soul. Right, I'll start with the... Sorry? Oh, you want me to describe your face for you? No, it's not against protocol per se, I think. No one has ever asked me that before. I'm not sure if, maybe we can try, yes? It's probably a gentler way for you to discover your face. Maybe that could work. Interesting. I should take notes at the end of our appointment. So, let's give it a try. And again, if at any moment you feel comfortable, upset or anxious, let me know and... Exactly. I'll just stop. Does that work for you? Good. All right. I've never done this, so please forgive me if it's a bit muddled. So, from your right temple to... Oh, you... Are you sure? No, not at all. I can touch your wounds while I describe them to you. It's just... I wouldn't want to upset you. If you say so, let's try and see how it goes. So, here, from your right temple all the way across your cheek to your chin, there's a deep scar, from its shape. I'd say it's from a blade, maybe a bayonet. I do not think it will fade with time, but its color might blend more with your skin tone over the years. The doctor must have tried his best to suture it. The stitches are gone, but some of the needle holes remain. These will definitely disappear. This scar will require my expertise, if you decide you want to hide it, of course. This is where the mold will come in handy. With it, I'll craft a fake piece of skin, as similar to yours as possible. I'll need to find ways to make it stick to your face, or a way to secure it. But this is work for later. Now, here, on your left cheek, a myriad of small scars, like little commas, probably from shrapnel. It got deep into the skin, lacerates in a very unique pattern, just like stars in the night sky. Yes, you have a galaxy on your face, engraved in your skin, forever. Those scars too won't fade, but with time, they will not be as apparent as they are now. And this leads us here. Yes, your left eye. From your dossier, I know that it has been damaged beyond repair, but you know that already, don't you? I'm really sorry. I'm sure it must have been really beautiful. Was it the same color as your right eye? I see. Your gaze must have been quite the thing then. And this is where I come in. I'll craft you a new eye. Of course, it won't give you your sight back, but it's always better than to wear an eye patch all the time. Or maybe you'd prefer to look like a parrot. Your eye. It's just raw flesh now. And from a quick glance at it, I think it will perfectly hold the prosthetic. What is it made of? Glass. And also a lot of work. I'll need to paint it so it resembles a real eye. Your real eye. It's a very meticulous job. With a very, very small brush, I'll apply paint to the glass. I have to recreate tiny veins, imperfections, the iris, which is quite tricky. Have you seen an eye up close? It's not just plain color. It's countless number of shades, structures and shadows. But I'll make it work, I promise. I'm sure it must have hurt badly, all these wounds. How does one keep going while hurting so much? I wonder. Oh yes, I've seen my fair share of horrors. Blood, flesh, bones, limbs, screams, cries, and of course death. But I just witnessed it. I wasn't on the battlefield, scared to my core for my and my comrades' lives. I have never held a weapon, never killed. Your task, and the one of so many others, was immensely difficult and dangerous. I really, really hope the government, mine and yours, will keep that in mind and give you the reward you deserve. In the meantime, I am afraid that all of us, those who saw and heard, will become a doomed generation. Sorry, I didn't want to become so gloomy all of a sudden. I guess it comes with the job and times as well. How do you feel? I mean, after hearing about your face. It's understandable. If you want, I'll do that again in the future. Maybe the more it is done, the easier it is afterwards to look at yourself in the mirror. I'll talk about it with the doctor. Now, I'll go and prepare the plaster for the mold. Do you need anything before we begin? Good. I'll be right back then.